Hey everyone, I'm IA Simmers, and I will be doing LPs for The Sims 2 and The Sims 2 Pets. These are three towns that EA have made, like pre-made, for you to play on with families and stuff in them. Pleasant View, Strange Town, and Veronaville. You can edit the names, though I haven't actually done that yet. And you can also make your own towns, as I have done here. As you see. And you also have like terrains, so choose like sample, whatever. You can choose a neighborhood name and write like whole story. There are 4 terrains: lush, dirt, desert, and concrete. But I'm gonna go into one of the pre-made towns, Veronaville. So the story of Veronaville is the Caps and Monties have been feuding for years, but that hasn't stopped the younger generation from crossing boundaries and falling in love. Will their actions ruin or bring families together? So that's the story. It's quite a lot like Romeo and Juliet. And I think they've kind of used the names as well, slightly, just changed them a bit. So that wasn't very like original of them. And then the town, they've kind of designed around the houses are kind of Shakespearean, as you can see. So if you like that sort of thing, getting into the whole Romeo Juliet thing, then that's cool, but I think it's just a bit weird. So there aren't that many families in many of the pre-made places, so I'm just gonna go and create my own family. With pets you can create cats and dogs, but you can't create other animals, but you can adopt womrats, which are basically hamsters, and birds. So this is to create a household, create a family thing, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to call my family IA Simmers. Okay, so I'll create Sim first. We're going to create a brother and a sister, just see what happens. And I'm going to call her Ellie. You get 6 faces to choose from, which are basically like base faces. And that one's my favourite. I always choose that one. There are quite a lot of hairstyles and 4 colours to choose from. I think I'll just go with brown hair for the moment. I quite like most of the hairstyles in this. I mean, I can really imagine somebody wearing this. Because some of the things you get are a little bit weird. That one, it looks a bit like she's got tarantula legs coming out of her head. I mean, it's quite odd. And that one is more 5-year-old. So, maybe some people would wear that, but I certainly wouldn't. So, I think I'll just give her plaits for the moment. And you could also change their faces and stuff if you want to, but I usually just change the eye colour if I don't like it. I don't really change much. And then on to the makeup. What to give her? I think I'll give her quite a thick mascara, or the thickest you can get. And change the blusher a bit. Well, she looks a bit pale without any. And onto the eyeshadow. Some of them, I would only wear that if I was doing a performance or something, and wouldn't really wear it every day. It looks a bit odd. So I'm just going to give her blue and quite subtle. And onto the lipstick. There's quite a lot of choice. Some of them are a little bit weird, but I'll just give her like plain colour and change the eyebrows. I don't really do much in there. Onto the clothes. Some of them are quite plain, and some of them are just downright weird, like this one. I mean, who wears that? It's slightly odd. And those are a little bit plain t-shirts. I mean, I would wear that if I wasn't anyway, whatever. And you can also have full outfits, but I seriously wouldn't wear that. I mean, it's fun and everything, but why? And also like that, I can understand if you were going for a Pirates of the Caribbean thing, but for a normal family, it's just, yeah. So yeah, I think I'll just give her. Oh, that's a bit black. Yeah, I'll just give her something like that. It's a bit annoying because you can't change their shoes or their accessories, so some of the things don't go, and you can't change the hair for different types of stuff. And for clothing, for formal wear, the only really nice thing is a wedding dress, and she's not married, so I'll just give her one of those. And then the underwear, there's not really much to choose, but you can sleep in your underwear, so you don't really see much of it anyway. And for PJs, you just give her like this cute nightie. I think it's cute. Yeah, the swimwear is quite nice. Some of the tankinis have a bit weird designs, but I'm just gonna give her a plain bikini. Yeah, and the athletic outfits. There isn't much in the way of athletic, but oh well. Then, pardon me. You got the aspirations, the family. That one, the nightlife one, I don't know what that is. I can't get that. See, family, romance, knowledge, like fortune and popularity. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do her traits. I guess they're kind of at the bottom. I'm gonna make her quite nice and quite playful as well, and not very neat, and kind of half outgoing and quite lazy. And I'm gonna make her romance because she wants to fall in love. And with any expansion pack, you can get turn-ons and turn-offs. You can't get that with just the base game. So I'm gonna make her like people who smell nice and muscular men. And I'm gonna change her to the family. One, because for romance, like have two loves at the same time, I can't see her doing that. I think she's quite an honest person because she's really nice. So that's our first sim, Ellie, and we're gonna make her brother. Yeah, I never really know what to call men because I'm a girl. Girl names spring out of my head, but men, yeah. So yeah, I think I'll just call him John. It's just a simple name, yeah. And then the Six Faces again. That's my favorite one. That's the only really type of hairstyle I like because the other ones are slightly odd. They're more for the older generation, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Just change his hair to black. Because, yeah, that's kind of the older generation. I wouldn't give a man that. And it's like he has a cushion on his head, which is a bit odd. And the tarantula legs again. Yeah. That also kind of creeps me out because I'm absolutely terrified of spiders. So I'm just gonna go with the one I like because, yeah. Then change his eye colour again. I'm gonna put them brown. Yeah. And not give him any makeup because that's slightly weird, I think. And change his eyebrows a little bit. And give him stubbles because I can imagine him just drinking and not doing much. Yeah, so for the everyday outfits for the men, for the top half, they're just kind of sort of shirty or that sort of thing. Tank top for men? I don't know. And for like the full outfits, well, you can have that, but I wouldn't really wear that. I think I'm just gonna give him this because it's quite plain and it's one of those things like I work but I don't work hard sort of things say that. So yeah. Onto his formal wear. I'm just gonna keep him in this pinstripe suit because yeah, I like it. And underwear. I think those love hearts are quite sweet actually. It's quite funny. I laughed when I first saw that. It was yeah. And PJs, they're all kind of the same, but you can also have just trousers. Yeah. So there's not really much, but I'm just gonna give him the trousers because yeah. And for swimwear, all there really is the things that he's wearing and Superman's underwear. So I'm just gonna Superman underwear. So I'm just gonna give him this Yeah, and again, not much athletic. And yeah, so on to the aspirations again. Yeah, sorry, my camera can only film 10 minutes at a time, so there may be some jumps in this video, sorry. Yep, and so I'm going to give him the romance aspiration because I can just imagine him sleeping with a girl every single night. Yeah, so I'm just not going to make him very nice for that fact, and he's going to be quite serious, but yeah, quite neat and very outgoing if he's going to be with lots of girls. And so he's just going to be one of those typical guys who likes underwear and makeup, not swimwear. That's a bit of a weird thing. And he doesn't like girls who smell, because I can understand that. So just make them siblings, definitely not spouses. So yeah, this is the IA Sinners family, and we playing with them. Yeah. And sorry if I sound slightly awkward in this video. This is my first one, so it's a bit new to me. So yeah, choosing a house for them. Well, there isn't really much choice unless you want to build a house from scratch, which actually costs more money than it should do. So, yeah, like the only free house in Veronaville is where me and my cousin made a torture house for some people, so I might have to put them in that. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to put them in the small house. It's quite small. It doesn't look like a torture house, but it is. Yeah, you can torture them. It's actually quite amusing, but I don't do it a lot. So yeah. Yeah. So this is the miniature house. Yeah, you can see the ashes of one of the people and the graves, which you can mourn on. I think we called them all V Die. Yeah, it's a bit awkward. Yeah, and if you have gravestones, it's quite annoying because the ghosts haunt your house and they just mess up everything. So that's quite annoying. So this is the house. I think I'm going to remake it because there are more dead people inside. And that's not fun. I'm just going to be a bit naughty and use a cheat so I can get rid of all the dead ashes and gravestones and stuff, because it's not cool. Yeah, so I'll just get rid of the graves and the puddle of water that I think one of the ghosts made. Yeah, it's quite annoying. Yeah, so if you ever make a torch house and you still have stones there, delete the graves, because it really annoys me. Anyway, so I'm just going to make them beds. I'll give them a quite simple one because they don't have much money, and it's quite good because there are so many designs that you can choose, unlike Sims 3 where there are like 4, but on this one you can change the type of bed, like wood and the covers. So I'm just going to give Ellie a leopard print thing and just a basic bedside table. Yeah, and then I'm going to just give John another one. Yeah, I think he's just going to have like a pinstripe bed like his suit, because he likes those things. He's weird. He's a weird male. And I'm just going to give him another plain bedside table. Yeah, so at this stage I'm just going to give them the basics because they don't have much. I'm going to change the colours a bit because that green is a bit ew. Yeah, and I'm just going to turn off my cheat so that it doesn't, cause it can annoy me quite a lot sometimes, because you can put the cooker in the same space as the bed, so they're like on top of each other, which is not useful. Yeah, so just edit the counters slightly because the counters are usually quite gross. Yeah, for making a proper meal, you have to have an oven, a fridge, a sink, and one spare countertop thing. So, yeah. Yeah, so I'm just gonna stick a counter in between the, beds, because there's really nowhere else to put it. And I'm just gonna give them a table to eat on because they need somewhere to eat, otherwise they can't eat. yeah, so it's always a good idea. Yeah, and stick some chairs in. But they also need to have something fun to do, because otherwise they like die of absolute boredom. Yeah, it's slightly annoying. So I'm just gonna stick a like electric car in there because it's quite cheap, and they still have a fair bit of money left. Yeah, and this is the house. Yeah, I'm just gonna give them a phone, and yeah. I'm giving them a bookcase as well because they need to teach themselves things to get a job. Yeah, and I just realised that they need a spare countertop, so I've got to move the car. Yeah, and that is a house. Oh god. They don't have a bathroom. Oops. Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly make them a bathroom, because that was one thing I slightly forgot. Yeah, so just build them one casually. Get rid of the windows. Remove the door. No, I don't know. Yeah, I'll move the door, and I'll move the table and chairs a bit around so that they'll be able to get in their house. Might have to put the bookcase in the bathroom. I'll just sell that for now. Yeah, and the pain is I have to buy doors again, doors and which costs money, and furnish it. So put carpets and stuff in there, like tiles. Ugh, and it just wastes so much money. And the pretty pattern on the loo. Just give them the most basic bathroom that there is possible. Yeah. So, choosing tiles. Yeah, and I'm gonna choose them a wallpaper thingamajiggy. I don't know what it's called. Like tiles for wallpaper. Yeah. Yeah, because they get kind of depressed if there is if the room is not furnished properly, which can get quite annoying because it saves time not to furnish properly, because I'm one of those lazy people who does not do it. And I have to do the outside of the house as well, but I don't know which wallpaper thingamajiggy we used for the thing, so I'm just gonna change it and make it simple brick red. And I think that is the house. It's quite plain. Yeah. And I'm just gonna get the bookcase again so that they can learn a little bit, because they need to learn. They do. I'm just gonna stick it next to the table. Yeah, I might get the mirror as well so that they can do Christmas. Actually, I cannot be bothered. Or you can just on their wants, you can see what they actually want to buy and stuff. And being typical John, he wants a double bed, which is just annoying. Yeah, so I'm just gonna see what needs she has. She needs the loo, and he's just gonna go in there before she goes to the toilet, because otherwise he won't be able to go in the house actually. Yeah, so he slightly needs the loo, but yeah, there's not really much you can do at the moment. Might make him read a book. Just checking if the postman's here. Oh, hurry up, man. Yeah, so just let Ellie go to the toilet. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just make him read a book. Ellie can just stand there. Yeah, just study cooking. Yeah, we'll make him go to the loo now. Oh, you didn't flush the loo, you disgusting child. We'll make him flush the loo, and then we can go to the toilet. Yeah. So just studying. Hurry up on the loo, man. And Wow, he is flushing the loo. Oh, look, there's a cat. And you're gonna make him wash his hands. The cat seems pretty interested in the house. Maybe I should go and say hello to it. I don't know. Well, you can get a drink in the tap. I'll find the cat. It's going all the way around the house and just greet. What's his name? I didn't get that. I'll greet the cat. Maybe if you might be able to like keep it if possible, and also you can have aspiration awards, so you can buy like a money tree, which is always useful if you're short of cash. And so you can like gain aspiration points from your wants and lose them from your fears. And you also have like influence, which is quite cool, so you can influence things to do quite stupid things. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave now. Bye.